And opening feature fight for the Far From Home update with 2-3 Doctor Strange, Spider-Man uni, Mysterio uniform, and Hydra Man, Molten Man, and Electro, who isn't in here. And also 2099 got a uniform, which is maybe really cool because 2099 is one of my favorite characters. And we're in there. We find a new check-in event. We got Spider-Man and Mysterio, and then Satana and Clea. So Spider-Man and Mysterio is obvious for Far From Home. And I have to assume Satana and Clea is for Doctor Strange. So yeah, and then 100 buys at the end. We are 2 more days after today away from getting Tier 2 Magneto because I'm waiting for that ticket right there. So 2 days for that, and then that will unlock Jean Grey for me. And a week and 2 days for another one after that. And here we go, update alert, legendary battle. I haven't seen the movie and I think there might be spoilers, so I'm going to avoid that. But probably isn't spoilers, I don't actually know. I don't think they know what's in the movie beforehand, so there probably won't be spoilers. New characters, we got Electro. He's a bio-sub character, but he's speed villain, and I think there's a very high percentage chance that he is going to overtake Korath as the top speed villain for ABX. I would say there's a 99% chance that he's going to be better than Korath. And then obviously the new uniforms. So uniforms. Here we go. We have Mysterio at 1050. We'll have to see. I've heard mixed things about this. I've heard most of his skills don't actually change that much, but this is crazy, right? So he gets 66% damage reduction, 25% shield, all immune, and invincible penetrate, which is crazy, just global. This is permanent, that's crazy. 50% all attacks, which is crazy. So one looks like this. And it looks like we have an iframe at the beginning and a short gap in here. I think there's a gap there. And at the end, there's that, and it comes with a silence? 1 second. An inconsistent silence, I guess. I got 2. Not an iframe. Really cool looking, though. You know, the silence must be his passive. I actually just don't know what it does. Okay, let's see this. Okay, so this is a heal and a guard hit. It's V-pad. Wait, so I can control this. Oh, interesting. It feels really wonky, though. It's hard to control. 3 is a short iframe, and you summon these clones. They're not actually minions. They're just doing damage. Right? These aren't minions, are they? Oh, they are. Interesting. They are illusions. Okay. And then we got 4. Immediate iframe, and it goes. Oh, this is the same skill almost. Well, that's pretty underwhelming. 4 hasn't really changed, and it was always very underwhelming. Yeah, look at that's so bad. Okay, and then 5 is where I heard it got the big bump in damage. So I'm actually just gonna reset this and then hit 5. We're gonna see what the effects are. He's got 7 seconds of in cap, which is great. We have mine resistance stacking, which probably goes up, and we have accumulation for attack. Okay, so it's damage taken. So that's why it's not an iframe, right? Because it's not an iframe because they want. Oh, it is at the end. Interesting. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, so this is a super well designed skill. Interesting. Can't tell if it's an iframe, right? Oh, it totally is. Okay, okay. So what we're looking at is at the very beginning, there's a really short iframe right there, and then he does this. He's not iframed for a bit, and then he does this. So I think for PvP, the problem could be that his 5th skill will be useless, right? Because you get that first iframe, maybe interrupt, but during that whole time, they'll just interrupt you with an iframe. But for PvE, it's really good because it's an accumulation skill, so you want to be getting hit right now. And so there's a gap in iframe so you can get hit, I guess. I've heard bad things, so I want to see for myself. Okay, first skill. What do we got? Bind, burn, stun. So maybe a Shadowland-esque skill. It's pretty clunky. You can't move right now. So that's just awful. It's a classic. Okay, this is interesting. You walk, and you leave these little puddles. Got paralyze and fire resistance. Can I control where I'm going? No. Okay, so that's pretty bad too. 3 is just a buff. It looks like it's like Wasp's 3rd skill essentially. Size, all attacks, all defense twice. Super armor. Interesting. Okay, 4th skill. No iframe. Get another bind, another stun, and no iframe, no immunity. 5th skill. Interesting. Wow, it looks really, really cool. I don't know how strong it is. Okay, fire resist down. All attacks, all speed, crit rate, still no invincibility. So he has no immunity, no guard break, or no guard hit, no immunity, no invincibility, no shield. So what you're saying? Oh, okay, okay. One skill, lava flow. Which skill is that? This? No, 3 maybe. Is that this? His tier 2 passive gives you 5 seconds of immunity when you use your third skill, so that will give you 5 seconds of immunity. Fifth skill is an iframe, but there's a big delay at the beginning. You jump in and a bunch of hits. This is really cool looking, I will admit. Wait, was there fear in there? 4-second fear, 1-second bind, 3 seconds done. So for a second I thought maybe the fear would be like Winter Soldier Sphere, but it doesn't appear to be. Hydro Man has this crazy passive where every time you use an ability, it stacks up to 5 and you just get a bunch of attack. And then, yeah, it's crazy. Wow, that was really cool skill. Okay, so first skill. Pretty much useless. Second skill, an iframe. Long iframe, and a lot of hits, actually. Wow, that's a lot of hits. 100 hits. Single target, let's see. 22 hits, pretty good, and a stun. Okay, third skill, summons these Hydra things. So this will probably be immunity all damage when it's ranked up, and you get these things that shoot this, I guess. Seems meh. Fourth skill, 4 guard hit. Ooh, and it's a V-pad skill. I can just move around. Wow, it lasts a really long time too. And then we got our fifth skill, which gives us another 15% physical attack. And stun for 3 seconds, and the ability is this. Really cool looking. Where's that singular guy? Isn't there a solo guy around here somewhere? Yep, there is. So many hits. If you're point blank, you're at 10, 12, 16, 20, 34. Seems pretty good. Definite potential. The fact that he scales attack so much is pretty nuts. And onto Electro, who again I think is going to take over the top ABX spot for Speed Villain without ever seeing him. Based purely on his passive and his what it says in his things. Is this an iframe? No, it is not. Pretty useless. Second skill. Wow, that looked really cool. Guard hit, decreased lightning resist down. So this is like pretty impressive second skill. But there's no iframe on it, so I have no idea. It's really hard to tell. 2-second bind, shock damage, and there's no iframe at the beginning, but it happens partway through, so it's meh. Fourth skill. Lightning resist down and accumulation. Damage taken accumulation. Okay. And now let's look at the actual skill. Wow, that's nuts actually. Fourth skill is an iframe here, and it looks like it's just a permanent iframe the whole time. This is on a singular target. Well, it was. That looks really cool. No idea how much damage it'll deal. Is it cancelable? Nope. Okay. I suppose I should check which skills are. Wow, that looks really cool. Okay. Third skill is this. So on first glance, Electro doesn't seem like he has a ton of cancelable abilities. Let's see what fifth skill is. Looks really cool. I'm looking at skill effects. We get, a big buff, another lightning damage buff. And I'm gonna look at the actual skill now. What's it going that whole time? Okay, fifth skill. Instant iframe. Long iframe. Really long iframe. Really cool looking. So I want to start with the 2099 uniform, but I'm actually gonna save that for last. And I'm gonna start with the Doctor Strange, because, well, I'm gonna save Doctor Strange for last. Turn this back off. I'll start with my least excited uniform, which was probably Stealth Suit, but I've heard good things, so I'm actually gonna start with the normal Far From Home, which has first skill is about the same, second skill is awful. What are the effects on this? Just stun and web. Yep, never use second skill ever. Jeez Louise. Okay, third skill. That is unchanged from Infinity War, is it not? Where is Spiderman? I think his third skill's unchanged. Yeah, third skill's unchanged. 4 skill. Almost unchanged, but adds shock. Right, so. And I did see this all defense down, but I've heard it doesn't apply to all world boss, so if that's true, it's just as bad as always. 5th skill. This is the big upgrade. We get a buff on here, and I think it's an iframe this whole time. Try to hit just this guy. Interesting. And I want to use 6 just to make sure. There's this shock effect. That's not always there. Here is 6th skill with no uniform. Yeah, so it's almost exactly the same. The ending is slightly different. Mainly gives you shock, but I've heard this uniform has also different stuff. So 1st skill is the same. 2nd skill is better. There's an iframe, and I think there's no gap. Okay, so 2nd skill got a dramatic upgrade, at least for PvP. He just has a long iframe instead of nothing. 3rd skill, same. 4th skill, different. Does that. Wonder if it's still cancelable. It has fracture on it. Okay, let's see. Is it cancelable? No. No. Okay, so it doesn't look like his 4th skill is cancelable. You can still cancel it, but it doesn't work as well. But I've heard there's a 5th skill is pretty different. Yeah, his 5th skill is really cool. What are these things? Oh, interesting. That's really cool. So let's read. Yeah, fracture, and then you get this invisibility. And another source of fracture is always good. Stun, webbing, obviously. Okay. This looks really cool. I think Stealth Suit seems way cooler. And then 6th skill has all defense down. Interesting. Wait. Okay. So on a 6th skill now, there's this like weird gap, and then at the very end it does more hits. I wanted to see if those were getting added into the total. And then we get invisibility, which is always crazy. Okay, we're gonna try just 6. Pay close attention. So this is all the same. Paralyzed web. Yep. Okay, the all defense down does not apply here. Still not applying. Okay, drops the bomb. And that at the very end is 82 hits. Okay, so for PvP that's useless, but I think tier 3 skills aren't really relevant in a lot of PvP situations. But I think I'll be buying the Stealth Suit if I ever decide to tier 2 him. So at least they made it really obvious here, right? So the 2 and 5 are the ones that are changed because they look different, right? 3. I think this has like a stealth change. Okay, it's for sure they changed this without really mentioning it, but if you notice, you only slide a little bit past them now. When you use 3rd skill on 2099, if you were here, you would literally end like over here in this corner somewhere. 4th skill should be the same. Just a bunch of hits like this. Yep. Alright, let's see what they change the 2nd skill to. Let's see what it does. Ooh, that's cool. Okay, so we have fracture now. Used to have webbing. I'm wondering if I do this. Oops, that was 1st skill. Okay, so it used to have webbing and it doesn't now. There's an iframe, but not right away. But now it has fracture. So I guess this is probably better for like timeline. This is better because 2 was pretty bad before in timeline. But for like world boss, pretty useless. And now the upgraded 5th skill. I wonder if I can, yeah, okay, so we can see what it is before. Oh, that's right, I remember seeing this, that's so cool. Okay, so he gets a crit rate and all attack buff equal to the accumulated damage, and it's the true damage dealt, and this is at level 1, so I don't know what this will be at max rank. I'm going to buy this uniform and we can check. It goes up to 10%, and it could be a 2% crit rate all attack buff. I'm hoping that's going to be way higher, but that's still cool. And it's also a V-pad skill, so I'm not gonna hit the V-pad here. Oh, wow. Wow. Wait, that's so cool. Okay, and it's V-pad, right? So I can like... Wow, yeah, that's so cool. I'm so excited for this. I hope he's a relevant character in PvP or PvE. This would make me so happy. This is such a cool skill. And last and certainly not least is the big hitter of the update. Is the Tier 3 Doctor Strange that I've heard is absurd. So first things first, we're going to check if his Tier 3 still if it still charges the same way as other characters, meaning that every time you use a skill it goes up, this percentage goes up, and like 5 does the most, fourth skill does the second most, third, and all the way down. So fifth skill, yep, 20%. So then we just have like 3, 2, like this is what you normally do in PvE Doctor Strange. You just like 2, 3, 4. And it does. You can charge it so fast, that's absurd. And now we're going to use fifth skill to get the buff first, because it gives you this massive Sorcerer Supreme buff. I mean, I guess in this it doesn't really matter. I'm going to use it again. When it's ranked up, it goes really high. I think it's like 80%, and it's 80% all attack, 60% crit. And now we're going to use the sixth skill. Permanent iframe. Massive buff. Interesting. Jesus. Oh my god. That is absurd. And the blind applies at the very end. So an interesting thing about this is that it kind of has the same problem that Iron Man's the Tier 3 skill has. Where, let's imagine you're using a damage proc. If you have a damage proc and you use your sixth skill now. See, this whole time, right now, this is all part of it. This damage from now on out will not be counting your damage proc unless it goes off at the end, right? So that is priorities. I'm actually going to buy the 2099 uniform right now. I'm that excited.